Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, November 23rd, 2021. It's almost Thanksgiving Day. Hopefully, we remember to be thankful every day, but I am looking forward to a nice turkey dinner. It's funny what food strikes people's fancy. This past Sunday, we had our church Thanksgiving meal, and one of the surprising favorites was the cheese puffs. Just about everybody there enjoyed some of the cheese puffs. That was kind of surprising. Today's parable is about that kind of feast. It's found in Luke chapter 14, verses 7 to 11, and I'm going to be reading from the New Living Translation, second edition. When Jesus noticed that all who had come to the dinner were trying to sit in the seats of honor near the head of the table, he gave them this advice. When you're invited to a wedding feast, don't sit in the seat of honor. What if someone who is more distinguished than you has also been invited? The host will come and say, "Give this person your seat." Then you'll be embarrassed and you'll have to take whatever seat is left over at the foot of the table. Instead, take the lowest place at the foot of the table. Then when your host sees you, he'll come and say, "Friend, we have a better place for you." Then you'll be honored in front of all the other guests. For those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. A couple of thoughts from this parable. When we gather together to share those kind of meals with a larger group than just our immediate family, we gather to share, not to take. You see, one of the key characteristics of following the Lord and living the Christian life is what can we give? We're supposed to follow God who gave his only begotten Son. We're supposed to follow Jesus who gave his very life. We need to understand that our lives are to be marked by what we choose to give, not by what we can take. And so when we gather together to those kind of meals, we ought to be bringing things and saying, how can I help? What can I do? How can I be supportive? How can I give? Rather than, wonder what kind of food they got and what's the best part, and I hope I get it first. We need to be giving and sharing and not taking. But the second thing from this little parable Jesus told is that we need to be aware that it's not our job to toot our own importance. It's not our role to make sure everybody knows how important we are. Have you ever seen those little guys that come in and have to let everybody know right away that they're the alpha male, they're in charge? And you look at them and really you wonder, who are they trying to convince? You or them? Their own selves. You see, our importance and our ranking in a group of people is really not that big of a deal to the Lord. He says, you go ahead and you sit down in the lowest place. And then when the owner or master of the banquet comes, he'll say, "Hey friend, you come sit in a better place." And he'll honor you in front of everybody. You see, we need not to be so puffed up with our own sense of self-importance that we feel like we have to prove how important we are everywhere we go. We just need to be us and to do us and to let people assign to us whatever importance they think is necessary. And we're satisfied with wherever we get placed instead of having to prove ourselves all the time. Humility, graciousness, giving, sharing, those are the characteristics that mark the follower of God. And we need to make sure that our lives follow the example of Jesus in everything we do. May God bless you this Thanksgiving week.